Who was the old farmer from the Old Farmers Almanac? And where is the most hiked mountain in America? The Abenaki people lived in the area of what is now western New England and parts of Canada. Some 22 miles east of the 410-mile-long river Quinituka is a lone mountain known as Monadnock. Renowned as the most hiked mountain in the United States and second most hiked in the world, behind Mount Fuji in Japan, its elevation rises over 3,100 feet to a bald, rocky area with breathtaking 360-degree views of southern New Hampshire, Vermont, and, on a clear day, the skyscrapers of Boston. If you want to ascend the peak, you might consult the Old Farmers Almanac, published in Dublin, New Hampshire, on the eastern side of the mountain. This will give you the sunrise, sunset, and possibly even the weather for the day of your adventure. Join me as I camp and fish in the shadows of the mountain that stands alone and discover just who the old farmer actually was. Situated along Dublin Road in Jaffrey, New Hampshire, the Monadnock State Park Gilson Pond Area Campground is entered via a paved road on the left that leads to a small check-in station. The campground is the newest in the New Hampshire State Park system, having opened just 14 years to the day that I took this video. The location is 2 miles north of the Monadnock State Park headquarters. The campground boasts 41 well-maintained sites that can accommodate tents and small RVs or trailers. Only 8 of the campsites are earmarked as standard or RV, however. The remainder of the sites are geared toward tent camping, with 12 of them having platforms, 16 marked as tent only, and 5 designated as walk-in or remote. I selected one of the tent-only sites, A16, which is relatively flat with an 8-foot picnic table and a fire ring. Almanacs have been around for many centuries, focusing originally on astrology, prophecies, and holy days. But it wasn't until the printing press was introduced in 1440 that almanacs gained popularity. Once science became more widely accepted, the almanac moved into astronomy with accurate tables for celestial events, but also included folk stories, remedies, moral precepts, and even jokes. The term almanac is of uncertain medieval Arabic origin. In modern Arabic, almanac is the word for climate. Encyclopedia Britannica states that an almanac is a book or table containing a calendar of the days, weeks, and months of the year, a record of various astronomical phenomena, often with climate information and seasonal suggestions for farmers, and miscellaneous other data. An almanac provides data on the rising and setting times of the sun and moon, the phases of the moon, the positions of the planets, schedules of high and low tides, and a register of ecclesiastical festivals and saints' days. The campground is made up of 2 loops, with all sites accessed along a gravel road. The A loop is elongated and closest to Gilson Pond. The B loop is circular. All of the campsites are well spaced, affording an element of privacy, but none have any hookups such as water, electricity, or storage. It should also be noted that there is no dump station located within the grounds. Vault toilets and water faucets are evenly distributed throughout the camp area and a short walking distance from the sites. The vault toilets include hand sanitizer and have a cement floor with a metal pedestal that has a standard toilet seat and lid. Keeping the lid closed minimizes odor, and I didn't experience any unpleasantness using the one closest to my campsite. The camp store is located at the center of the two loops. Here can be purchased ice, camp supplies, some food and treats, as well as firewood. The hours are limited, but are posted in the toilets for convenience. Also located at the facility in the center of the park are three separate unisex showers, including one designated as handicap accessible. They operate using a coin system with four quarters giving 6 minutes of hot water. A maximum of $3.75 will purchase 22.5 minutes of heated bliss. There's also a men's and ladies' bathroom with flush toilets and a few sinks outside that are intended for washing dishes.
This is a trail that runs along Gilson Pond. I'm searching for a place to fish in the morning, and so we'll see how this works out. It looks pretty promising.
The pond is entirely within Monadnock State Park. It's a relatively shallow body of water covering 16 to 17 acres. Access is somewhat remote along several trails, making it prohibitive to watercraft unless portaged from the campsite by using a kayak or canoe cart with heavy terrain wheels.
If the weather holds out, this looks like a perfect spot for the morning to go fishing. So I'll be back here first thing in the morning with my chair and my rod and my gear. Now I just need to go find some bait.
Under the supervision of Harvard College in Cambridge, Massachusetts, William Pierce produced an almanac for New England for the year 1639. Although these annual handbooks had been produced for years in Britain, this was the first of its type in America. For the year 1734 and the next 25 years following, Boston-born patriot Benjamin Franklin produced from Philadelphia Poor Richard's Almanac under the pseudonym Richard Saunders. According to the Benjamin Franklin Historical Society, it contained all sorts of interesting information such as the calendar, weather predictions, sayings, poems, and demographics. It also included recipes, trivia, advice, aphorisms, and proverbs about industry and frugality, such as, "Three may keep a secret, if two of them are dead," as well as, "Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise."
I'm off to Gilson Pond to do some fishing. It's just a short walk down from the campsite that I selected. I'm in A16 and the path is next to A18. So the path is just down past this metal gate, and I don't know, it's about maybe an eighth of a mile to the fishing spot.
Gilson Pond is a spot for fishermen to relax. The species of bluegill and other panfish are very small. I would recommend this for youngsters who are just getting into fishing. I was using worms for bait, but I suspect the fish would bite on corn niblets or bread. There was lots of action, and I pulled out about 6 sunfish. There was no interest, however, in the couple of lures I tried.
Looks like we got us a catfish. Little tiny catfish.
No matter the size, I always practice catch and release, assuring a stock of fish for the next person. It's also important to note that a New Hampshire freshwater fishing license is required for anyone over the age of 15. These are available through New Hampshire Fish and Game license agents, such as most sporting goods stores, some major retailers who carry fishing gear, online at fishnh.com, or by mail from the headquarters in Concord. I also had the honor of being visited by two otters who were out fishing for their breakfast this morning. In 1790, a 24-year-old farmer turned scholar from Grafton, Massachusetts, had been rebuffed by the preeminent publisher of the New England Almanac, Isaiah Thomas, when he'd requested 100 copies of the periodical. With a bee in his bonnet, young Robert Thomas, no relation to the almanac's creator, determined that he would have an almanac of his own. Youthful exuberance and determination found him ready to publish his own work in the fall of 1792 for the new year. He titled his publication "The Farmers Almanac." Robert Thomas continued to work on and edit the almanac until his death at age 80 in 1846. By this time, the New England Almanac had ceased production some 21 years prior. In 1818, another almanac by the same name as Thomas's had started publication out of New Jersey, created by poet, astronomer, and teacher David Young, and published by him and Jacob Mann. This was a direct competition to the original created by Thomas. After his demise, the helm of the original Farmer's Almanac was held by John H. Jenks. To differentiate the two annual periodicals, and knowing that his version had almost 25 years more relevance, Jenks added the word "old" to the title as a permanent fixture. Although Thomas had inserted this nomenclature in the past, he had dropped it. In 1851, Jenks modified the cover to include the Four Seasons by artist Henry Nichols. The campground offers other amenities, including a small playground for children aged 2 through 12 that includes swings for various levels. Benches are provided for parents to watch the little ones at play. A spring-mounted teeter-totter offers shared playtime. The main play structure is a unit designed for both young and old, with slides, multiple platforms with pyramid roofs, a challenge beam, monkey bars, and elevated walkways. Climbing includes a spiral climber, a quarter circle climber, and stairs. On the ground level are tic-tac-toe cylinders and a small play bench. Within the grounds of the Monadnock State Park Gilson Area Campground is a small day-use area that provides parking, trail maps, and information. The grove includes picnic tables and charcoal grills. This is situated just above the children's playground to allow easy access from the picnic area. The Old Farmers Almanac continued through the remainder of the 19th century, all of the 20th century, and is still being published today, the longest continuously published periodical in America. It has lasted through the Great Depression and all of the country's wars after the Revolution. Published by Yankee Publishing of Dublin, New Hampshire, who has held the reins since 1939, when it was purchased by Rob Sagendorf, who also founded Yankee Magazine 4 years earlier. It's now on its 14th editor. The Old Farmer's Almanac includes all of the expected celestial data and weather, with a proclaimed 80 to 85% accuracy rate. That's almost as good as the nightly news forecast, which only covers a week. Additional anecdotal information is included, such as how to be a genius, or at least a little smarter than you are now, which commemorated the 50th anniversary of Albert Einstein's death in 2005. Also in 2005, the Old Farmers Almanac launched the Old Farmers Almanac for Kids and is expected to be around for a good long time yet. Take that, Mr. Isaiah Thomas, in your New England Almanac. Not bad for a scholarly farmer from Grafton, Mass., who first started at the ripe old age of 24. I hope that you've enjoyed this video from the Monadnock State Park Gilson Pond Area Campground. I also hope that you've come to appreciate the Old Farmers Almanac. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you got something out of it. It really helps me to bring you more content like this. Feel free to message me in the comments below. I'd love to get your feedback and thoughts. Thank you again for watching.